This film is a record of the works and activities of one local authority, which, after more than 100 years of strenuous effort, has become the busiest and most productive local authority in Western Australia. This is the tale of one city and the busy people who make things happen. This is a story about what's happening in the city of Stirling. A typical working day in Stirling City Council commences at 8 a.m, when the various works gangs go to their vehicles and plant in readiness for the day's toil. The health and sanitation workers have already been on their job for an hour by this time. These men, with their vehicles and plant, will disperse to all points of the compass from this central administrative headquarters and depot in Cedric Street, Osborne Park. A journey of no more than 5 miles in any direction will take them to most of their working locations. With 83 light motor vehicles, 65 trucks of all sizes and 67 items of light and heavy mobile plant, the council is well equipped to cope with its heavy works program. Before moving off, it's necessary for many of the vehicles to load up with the stores and materials required for the day's work. A ready stock of all materials is kept in the depot yard. The council's vehicles, plant and machinery cannot operate efficiently without proper servicing, and so a team of expert mechanics under the leadership of the city's transport officer keep all of them in good mechanical order in the depot workshop. Items such as soccer goal posts and other equipment are manufactured in the workshop, and a wide range of maintenance tasks are carried out by the mechanical staff. Mick Bradley served as general maintenance man and senior mechanic for 46 years, from the days of the draft horse until his retirement in 1972. Engineering activities are supervised by the city engineer and his senior assistants, and a close watch is kept by these officers on all civil engineering operations throughout the city. All works operations have to be carefully planned to the finest detail, and this is where the engineers and draftsmen prepare the plans and specifications which are required before these works can commence. the field, the first man on the job is the surveyor, and his task is to make sure that the roadworks are carefully laid out according to plan, so that they are constructed at the correct levels along the true alignment of the road. Similarly, road widenings and all other road improvements need the careful attention of the surveyor. In large-scale roadworks, where earthworks are a major factor, heavy machinery is brought in after the surveyor has been through to get the land to the required levels and contours before the workmen and their materials move in. These machines are preparing for the future extension of Morley Drive in Dianella. When the earthworks are completed, the road materials go in. Firstly, the limestone base is laid. And then, as in this case in Karrinyup, the rock base is brought in to finish the foundation works. Large volumes of material are brought into the job in a short period of time, as it has always been the policy of the City of Stirling to have roadworks completed with the least possible delay. As well as providing the roads quickly, this is also an economical way of getting the work done. In the older suburbs, a continuous program of road widening and general improvements is implemented. In this case, in Cape Street, Kewett Hill, the heavy volume of traffic using the street has made necessary the widening to the maximum width of 32 feet. Work must be carried out with the least possible amount of inconvenience to the busy traffic using the road. Careful training and supervision and efficient operators make the maximum use of the machinery employed by council for all of its. By June 1972, there were 542 miles of constructed roads in the City of Stirling, and many miles of new roads are provided every year. In the busy 8th Avenue shopping centre in Maylands, a special effort was made to completely reconstruct the roadway in the shortest possible time, and weekend work was undertaken to cause the least amount of disruption to the business community. The next stage, after the road foundations are completed, is the laying of the metal surface. This has become a highly skilled operation, requiring close teamwork between the various gangs. After the road base has been swept clean, bitumen is spread and layers of metal quickly applied. In this large job, the extension of the depot yard, comprising an area of 11,300 square yards, or 2¼ acres, was surfaced in a matter of a day or two. final task in road making takes place some months after the initial metal has been applied and consolidation has occurred. This is the hot mix surfacing, in which a high-quality hot bitumen compound is applied to finish the task. The final hot mix surfacing has been in use by the City of Stirling for many years. The smooth, unblemished surface is set to very fine levels and has a long life without any need for maintenance, thus reducing annual repair expenses. This is in keeping with the generally high standards which have been set for Stirling City's roads. Drainage is another major function of the engineering department, and in the course of the year, many large projects are involved. In this case, in King Edward Road in Osborne Park, it was necessary to avoid damage to a market garden in the course of large-scale drainage works. A major task in 1971 was the widening of Hertha Road in Osborne Park. This involved taking a main drain underneath the road through twin 42-inch pipes. The City of Stirling drainage gang here demonstrated their capabilities in a major task in completing this drain laid on a curve in a matter of 25 working days. This precision task also calls for teamwork on the part of a gang which is continually engaged on drainage construction and is quite capable of dealing with the situation when called upon to execute a task of this magnitude. Hertha Road is a very busy access road to the council administrative centre. The road previously had a number of curves and, in its original narrow state, presented a constant hazard to first erratic motorists. The open drain, which had to be taken under the road at this point, is a small waterway which meanders for some considerable distance through the Osborne Park market garden. The former rustic scene soon disappeared as this major engineering work took over in this section of the drain. The pipes are laid and covered, and all is ready for the main road construction to pass over what was formerly a narrow and dangerous culvert. Stirling has adopted the use of flat, mountable extruded concrete curbing for all of its roadworks. This has resulted in considerable advantages, particularly in doing away with the need for separate openings for vehicle access to private properties. It's no longer necessary to break the curbing for the benefit of private driveways, as this curbing is easily mounted by vehicles. This gang, employed by a contractor, lays 600 feet of curbing in an hour, and as much as 125 miles has been laid for the City of Stirling in 1 year. Footpaths are constantly under construction. The city is laying new concrete slab paths and is also using the slabs to replace worn-out bitumen paving. As another indication of how the council workers specialise, this gang concentrates solely on slab laying and lays paths at the rate of 4 chains a day. The city had 488 miles of footpaths to June 1972. The completed path in Hertha Road, Osborne Park. Traffic control at intersections frequently requires widening and reconstruction, sometimes at considerable expense. In the case of this intersection of Scarborough Beach Road and Harborne Street, it was necessary for the council to buy and demolish existing houses so that the special treatment for this busy intersection could be put in hand. This was to become a long-term and expensive project. Now let us have a look at the health services, the most widely known of which is the rubbish disposal service. Starting with the placing of the refuse into the household bin, 26 rubbish trucks gather the material from 10,000 homes daily in the city of Stirling and convey the refuse to the disposal site. The location and the operation of the disposal site presents its own problems, and the council has, since 1957, followed the system of sanitary landfill refuse disposal, which involves selecting low-lying ground, filling this with refuse and covering with sand. All types of household, commercial and industrial refuse are conveyed to the tip. On occasions, something goes out of the tip as well as coming in, as was the case with this specially selected piece of timber required for a boat building operation at Fremantle. The operation of these sites frequently presents problems for the council, particularly when the interests of surrounding householders have to be taken into consideration. However, the tips are operated with as little inconvenience as possible, and householders nearby eventually have the satisfaction of seeing the tip transformed into a pleasant recreational area. In the first period of operations at Hertha Road, Osborne Park, 68 acres of swampland was reclaimed for recreational use during a period of 12 years. In the case of the 32 acres of marginal swampland at the Wordsworth Avenue site, the council went to considerable expense to fence the area and to plant shrubs to reduce possible annoyance to neighbouring householders during the 18 months in which the disposal site operated. The health surveyors of the city have a variety of tasks, such as sampling the water in lakes and swamps throughout the city in the search for harmful bacteria which may destroy wildlife in the locality or create health hazards. The inspection of buildings under construction to ensure that all plumbing and health requirements are met. In this case, a drain at a hotel in Innaloo is being checked for efficiency. Inspection of food premises and food sampling is also an important duty, and eating establishments are checked from time to time as a normal routine task. The number of very old houses in the city is rapidly diminishing, and those old houses that are in existence are kept in a good state of repair by the serving of health and building orders where necessary. A demolition order was served on this derelict house, as buildings which have deteriorated to this extent are not allowed to remain. The city planner and his staff are faced with heavy responsibilities. In these modern times, a larger volume of work coming to the council involves important decisions on town planning and on zoning, so that the residential amenity of the district is preserved and the district allowed to grow in an organised manner. Much of the growth comes from new development, which is attracted to the city for housing, commerce and industry. No building is commenced without the issue of a building licence, and building applications are dealt with by the building surveyor and his staff. Positions of new homes are carefully plotted on district maps, and the building surveyor and his senior assistant keep a close watch on all applications to see that the building bylaws are properly enforced. When the building licence is issued and work is underway, visits are paid by the building inspectors to make sure that the buildings are going up according to plan and to the proper standards. Six building inspectors are continually in the field checking on the new buildings under construction. New buildings erected in the city of Stirling from July 1971 to June 1972 had a total value of $39.5 million. The Parks and Recreation Department of the city has considerably expanded its activities in recent years. A typical example of large-scale development is the reserve immediately to the east of the former rubbish disposal site in Wordsworth Avenue, which will also eventually become part of this recreational development. The 134 acres involved in the Okine Reserve at the corner of Wordsworth Avenue and Alexander Drive presented a big task for the contractors engaged on the earthworks, but heavy machinery made light work of the task, and it wasn't long before the area was cleared and ready for reticulation and grassing. This reserve will include 20 hockey fields, 10 for men and 10 for women, and both hockey associations are contributing generously towards the amenities to be constructed on the ground. cleared area presented problems with sand drift on windy days before the grass began to show its first signs of growth, with the encouragement of fertilisers and the giant sprinklers operated by the automatic reticulation system. The automatic reticulation operated mainly during the evening hours, so that the most benefit could be obtained from the underground water supplies. The giant sprinklers also performed a valuable task on the original rubbish disposal site of 68 acres in Hertha Road, Osborne Park. This area, which was filled over a period of 12 years, is now served by 2 underground bores. Here we see water flow testing procedures in operation. With the 2 sprinklers throwing out vast amounts of water, this reserve made rapid progress to the stage when it could be brought into use by the many sporting bodies awaiting its completion. The Superintendent of Parks and Recreation also has the advantage of a modern nursery, which supplies plants and trees for decorations in reserves and in the streets. The nursery is fitted up with necessary equipment to provide efficient operation. Also, a number of ornamental plants are grown and kept in the glasshouse for special decorations at official civic ceremonies. As could be expected, these are greatly admired by council's visitors. Whilst tree pruning is not always a desirable operation, it is a necessary one in order to clear dangerous growth from beneath electric power lines and to prevent trees from overgrowing in a street, often to the annoyance of neighbouring householders. Trees are now allowed to grow much higher than previously and are only pruned in cases of necessity. The appearance of the district has improved considerably as a result. This department now has the advantage of the modern machinery and methods introduced by the Superintendent of Parks and Recreation, who was appointed early in 1969. A typical new recreational area which has been brought into use is the Karrinyup Reserve, a badly needed facility for the young people in the Karrinyup area who previously had their football training in the streets. In the late afternoon, they now enjoy the benefit of this excellent reserve, where many potential champions of the future are receiving their early training. The reserve is one of many which has the advantage of modern change rooms facilities. Opened in October 1968, the Council's public golf course at Hamersley is a welcome feature which has received widespread acceptance and applause from the citizens of the City of Stirling and also from other parts of the metropolitan area. Golf professionals regard this course as being of a very high standard, and the Council is very proud of this recreational amenity. Another popular year-round feature, being closed only during the months of May and June, is the Inglewood Swimming Pool. Opened in March 1967, the pool has an annual income of over $53,000 and 450,000 customers each year, the number increasing from year to year. The 2 millionth customer entered the pool on the 18th of September 1972, only 5.5 years after the opening. Schools are encouraged to use the pool for swimming instruction and for their annual swimming carnivals. The pool was constructed to full Olympic standards at a cost of $249,000, and the Council is continually faced with the problem of financing a second and possibly other schools. The local authority must cater for all age groups from the cradle to the grave. The kindergarten and child health centres are very popular features. The City of Stirling in 1972 had 19 kindergartens and 21 child health centres. These are built in areas having extensive juvenile populations, and there is a continual demand for these buildings in all new housing areas, such as this estate in Hamersley East. The modern tendency which Council is following is to have a combined building, which operates as both kindergarten and child health centre. This building in North Beach is a typical example. The The children at the Tuart Hill Kindergarten demonstrate the excellent use to which the kindergartens are put. In these surroundings, and with the companionship of others of the same age, the young ones are prepared for school life. And with 82 schools in the district and a population of 170,000 in 1972, there is a continuing demand for kindergartens throughout the city. As the children grow up and proceed through their school years, they appreciate the facilities of the three public libraries at Inglewood, the Central Library in Osborne Park, and the original library at Scarborough. The combined total of books in these three libraries is 75,000, and the libraries are widely used by all sections of the community. A fourth library forms part of the new Karrinyup Cultural Centre, opening September 1973. Naturally, our own history, Stirling City, written by the town clerk, is a popular book which is in steady demand in all libraries. For the more elderly citizens, the 6 autumn centres, as they are known, scattered throughout the district, provide an excellent social amenity, and all centres were extended during 1972. The centres are conveniently located close to public facilities and recreational amenities. We now visit the North Beach Centre to observe one of the handicraft sessions. The high standard of work produced by the Autumn Centre members is a credit, not only to their own efforts, but to the encouragement given by their volunteer instructors. Many of these items are later snapped up by eager purchasers. Recreational activities play an important part in the regular function of these centres. Supervisors are in attendance, and meals and morning and afternoon teas are available during the day. Total membership of these centres in 1972 was about 1,200. who are sick and aged and not always capable of preparing their own meals, a Meals on Wheels service is provided from the council's own kitchen, situated in the administrative centre in Osborne Park, and built and equipped at a cost of $56,780. Here, provision is made for future increases in the number of meals served. As soon as cooking is completed during the morning, the meals are served into special canisters and then delivered in hot boxes to the various autumn centres, from where they are taken to the aged recipients by volunteer drivers. The cost of each meal is 35 cents. The old Maylands Hall at the corner of Guildford Road marks the location across the road in 8th Avenue of the Maylands Youth Centre, formerly the Maylands Fire Station. The old fire station, the hall and the old road board depot in Watley Crescent are the joint locations for the city's first youth centre. This is a very successful pilot project which has led to the construction of youth centres on more modern lines in other parts of the city. The activities are supervised by district youth organisers who are under the control of the Youth Education Officer. The success of this centre, which opened in 1967, is typical of what is being achieved in youth welfare work within the city of Stirling. An important feature of the city's operations since 1954 has been the naturalisation ceremonies conducted by the council at regular intervals. Here, people from all nationalities and all walks of life take their Australian citizenship at ceremonies attended by family and friends and by important citizens from the community. 4,766 people have been naturalised at 231 ceremonies between 1954 and 1972. Citizens from overseas countries have played a very important part in building the city of Stirling to what it is today. Amongst the facilities paid for by the council is street lighting, which is installed and maintained by the State Electricity Commission. In 1972, $112,000 was paid for this service. A good percentage of revenue is also contributed each year to the operations of the WA Fire Brigades Board, which maintains careful watch from 3 fire stations situated within the city of Stirling. This service cost the ratepayers over $170,000 in 1972. Much of the credit for the successful functioning of a big city goes to the office staff, who work conscientiously in all departments in maintaining the administrative activities in the city. Here, the necessary increase of staff has not been matched by available accommodation, with the result that overcrowding has occurred and the council is constantly faced with the problem of providing building extensions at minimum cost. The revenue to finance all of the activities and works which you have seen comes substantially from the ratepayers of the city. So the annual issue of rate notices is a very important operation. The key to the finances of the City of Stirling is in these cabinets, which comprise the rate book from which our main source of revenue is derived. May our revenue continue to grow and our city continue to prosper.